So, our humans on the cusp of being an advanced civilization. Sin. Meanwhile, humans are also gonna restore, you know, the areas of nature and basically try to restore the biodiversity of this planet. Because of course, animals do deserve to have their own areas and their own place in the world. But well, I always talked about various stuff about animals and the extinction and how that's a very important technology that may be coming, which means we might see the Ice Age ecosystems by the end of this century. Basically, we might see fully intact Ice Age ecosystems by the end of the century as well through mass cloning technology as well. I think also the world population will stabilize by 2100 as well. Most projections say it will. Well, I think it will. I think the world population will stabilize, especially if these technologies start to roll out. So, there has been a lot of research going into the process, says of biological aging. Basically, when you get older, your body gets weaker and weaker. Most animals and creatures have this thing. It's a part of natural biology, but humans might be finally trying to find ways to go around getting old. Getting old may soon become a thing of the past. And people in my generation, yeah, even though as much as I hate my generation, Gen Z, I hate my generation, I'm a part of Gen Z. I was born 2001. Yeah. And also, yeah, another reason I'm talking about this because there's no other videos to talk about. So I think I'm going to talk about stuff that I'm interested in, that I want to talk about. And I could, of course, fulfill myself in these types of videos tomorrow or later to get caught up. But one of the big people of this community, of the at the 18 research, is Aubrey de Grey. He said by 2025, people will find out basically that aging is a very bad thing, and we need to find a way to basically become young for a long time. Okay? And that we can live for thousands of years. And people don't realize, but aging is basically one of the big problems humanity is going to face this century. But many countries, especially Europe and America and Canada, Japan and Korea, and China, and soon South Asia, Latin America, North Africa, Middle East, and then of course Africa will be last, will all experience the same problem. Which means there's no cut if nothing is done about biological aging, the whole world will face a massive demographic crisis. And eventually gonna probably say, maybe, and people are like, but overpopulation will be a problem. But the population is expected to even out by the end of the century. So by the end of the century, the population is supposed to even out. And also, I saw another video about advanced civilizations, basically, and about, I'll explain that later in the video as well. But Robot Mouse Rejuvenation Project details announced. Here is one of the big things here. It's a famous Robot Mouse. Robust Mouse Rejuvenation Project as well. So, mouse models are significant aging resources for several reasons. Mice and humans cell may genetic similarities, including similar aging related pathways. It makes it a useful model for studying the molecular cellular process of aging in humans. And this is mice have a relatively short lifespan, which allows us people to study as well. And also, we have found ways to make mice live longer. This isn't a thing that, as well. We have found ways to make mice live way longer. So that means people in my generation, we probably will have to worry about getting old, which is pretty weird. Pretty weird. We don't have to worry about getting old, apparently, because science will find a way to get around that. I just don't want to be a part of a computer, a post-human society, basically, and be uploaded to a computer. I want to live out my life in the physical world, and basically when my life ends, I'll, of course, go back to the spirit world and all that stuff, and basically say I completed my life, essentially, completed my purpose, okay, my point of life. as well. But the whole point is LEV's ultimate goal, which is longevity, escape velocity, in the program to achieve robust mouse rejuvenation. This defines the as an intervention almost totally multi-component that is applied to a mice of a strain. Historic mean lifespans at least 40 months. Initial age of at least 18 months, which means these mice got to live around 12 months as well. 12 more months of life. Okay. And for mice, that's a lot of more time to live. Okay. Imagine if we got to live 20 more years. Okay. That's automatically an approval over the 80 we get. Okay, the 80 to 70 we get. Okay. We got to live 90 to 100 years. Okay. And some and probably most of all countries is probably past 100 years. Okay. And then I saw another video about advanced civilizations and how there was this person who had, a connection with these advanced civilizations, these alien civilizations, and there was a lot of humanoid civilizations throughout this galaxy, including the aliens that we typically see as well. And he basically said that some of these civilizations have already basically were like our planet, but they're way ahead of us in technology. Like, they've been around for millions of years. Okay? They've been around for way longer than we have. Okay? And they have found the secrets to aging, the way to stop aging, and the way to stellar travel and all that stuff. And so basically it's like, Star Trek or, Stellaris or Star Wars. Okay, maybe you can have a war, and they even had intergalactic wars, like in Star Wars, and then it became like Star Trek as well. Well, which means very, very soon we could become an advanced civilization. So, what do you think about humans getting rid of one of the biggest problems, such as aging populations, aging populations, whereas America is gonna be, facing that problem as well, making that, here's another article, making 90 the new 40 as well. Much soon as we can live much longer. And the thing is, most of this stuff isn't really talked about all too much because most people don't really care about this stuff and just move on with their lives. Most people don't pay attention to this stuff as well. Same thing with reality movements and politics as well. Most people don't really pay attention to it all too much. And I think that is a problem because stuff like that, a lot of stuff like that does impact you in some form as well. And maybe I have to make more videos about this stuff to keep people informed. But again, people are not used to videos like this on my channel. So, as well. Well, and they also have a fist at the researching as well. I think the biggest concern people have is be overpopulation. But then you gotta realize that Elon Musk wants to colonize Mars, so and then maybe the rest of the solar system, because we do have a pretty big solar system. Okay, we have 8 planets, we have Pluto and the rest of the dwarf planets as well. We could make bases on. We could colonize even planets like Neptune and Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury. We could probably colonize the whole solar system. We could even make our own planets. Like we could make disk planets. We could make we can make disk worlds, so we can have so we can put all the flat earthers on it. We can all put all the flat earthers on the disk planets. We could as well. Yeah, I'm still sick a bit. I have felt better today, but as well. And we know many of the reasons why aging happens. Senescent cells is one of the main reasons why aging happens. You have telomeres and stuff as well. As well. And I think in the near future, living a long time will not be no longer just decided based off your genetic or gender. I think a lot of people will be able to live a while, a big long time as well. And I think once people realized that, hey, humans can live way longer than we realize, I think there will probably be a massive resource. But again, there'll also be other technologies. There'll be military technologies. There'll be research. There'll be space technologies as well. There'll be interstellar technologies. There'll be research to get to people to Mars as well. Probably spearheaded by Elon Musk. And of course, technology to get us back to the moon as well. Technologies, as well. So, could humans live 1,000 years like Aubrey D. Gray says? I think because other civilizations have basically, like, for an example is the Pleiadians, or Palladians, however you pronounce them, have achieved, 1,000 to 500,000 year lifespans. I think it's very possible in the future that Pleiadians and other alien races in our galaxy, we can of course achieve the same thing and achieve biological immortality as well. And I think we also might have in the future a way more connection to the spirit world, which will be the other half of this video. But yeah, I think we'll have a more bigger connection to the other side. The thing is, we don't really have a big connection to the other side right now. We really don't. There's a lot of atheism, there's a lot of religions, which religions are basically supposed to spread, love and stuff, but also can be very divisive. But again, that's mostly because of how Earth is right now. Earth is a planet that is very divisive. Earth is a planet that is basically the hardest and most difficult planet in the galaxy. Probably not in the universe, because the universe is so vast, it's so big, as well. There are probably planets in this universe that are harder than Earth, obviously, or are lower or more darker. I bet there are planets that probably were like Earth in terms of spiritually, and they screw themselves up and they're gone. Okay? They destroy themselves in like a nuclear war or something, and they screw themselves over. But the thing is, the world is a very divided world at this point, so I don't think humanity as a race is going to unite anytime soon. As well, humanity is too divided, too unspiritually attached to this world to really understand. I think that's the whole point I'm getting here as well. You have a wide variety of opinions, of free will. For example, my neighbor could believe something very different than me, and I won't even know, because of course I never asked them, but they could have a completely different opinion than me as well. So humanity still has to figure out one of the lessons, evolve spiritually, to eventually reach the path as well. But they basically want to bring more people into the longevity research, and it has a lot of potential, definitely. And I think living way longer in a physical body will be definitely increase our spiritual level, because more spiritually advanced civilizations live longer. That's basically the gist of it as well. And life expectancy has been increasing for like the past decades as well. So, yep. So I think people born in like the year I am will probably see the next century. But maybe not me, because I'm just a big sungus, but as well. But as well. But yep, that's basically about this video. So yep, that's basically about this video. Goodbye.